As a lifelong Steelers fan, I'm getting incredibly frustrated with this organization, all right? So a few days ago, they recently had a meeting with free agent quarterback Russell Wilson. I don't know why anybody thinks it's a good idea for the Steelers to even entertain the possibility of signing Russell Wilson. I don't care if it is a veteran minimum. The Broncos felt like this dude was so bad that they were willing to take an $85 million dead cap hit, NFL record, by the way, to get rid of him. And the Steelers are playing in the AFC North, home to two of the NFL's best quarterbacks, Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Russell Wilson, at 30-something years old, declining and regressing, is not going to be the quarterback to get Pittsburgh back to a Super Bowl. I don't know why the Steelers are so okay with being a mediocre franchise now and being complacent, but it's just mind-boggling how the Steelers have mishandled making the transition from a future first ballot Hall of Famer Big Ben to just playing musical chairs at the quarterback position, the most important position in the NFL. The Steelers lose a future Hall of Famer, and they had no success plan for him. And save me the shit about how Big Ben didn't want any younger QBs on the roster. Like, you got to do what you got to do, fam. The Patriots drafted Jimmy Garoppolo despite the fact they had Tom Brady, and eventually it came down to a decision where Bill Belichick was forced to trade Jimmy Garoppolo in favor of Tom Brady. But even the Patriots had somewhat of a success plan. Mac Jones had a really good rookie season before things just completely went left. Kenny Pickett hasn't showed too much of anything to give you hope that he's going to be the guy who can get the Steelers back to the promised land, which is capturing that 7th Lombardi trophy. And neither is Russell Wilson. What the hell is signing Russell Wilson going to do? All that's going to do is make the Baltimore Ravens, the Browns, and the Cincinnati Bengals laugh, because you still aren't upgrading at quarterback. You just went from arguably the worst or the second worst quarterback in the NFL starting for you to going to like either the 5th or the 4th worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, what are the Steelers doing at quarterback? What is the plan? Because it seems like they don't have one. If their plan is, we're going to go into this season and we're just going to have 4 random quarterbacks on the roster battling out with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph, you don't have a plan, all right? And you're not serious about winning. If you're serious about winning, you would do what's in the best interest, and that is trading for Justin Fields. That is the best interest of the team. You don't need to trade away Deontay Johnson or George Pickens. Neither one of those two guys are the problem. The problem is the fact that this organization has mishandled the quarterback position. Like, Mike Tomlin is just so lost from reality now that I'm now starting to understand why people want this dude fired. Now, I'm not going to call for him for his job anymore. I have no thoughts on Mike Tomlin's job security in Pittsburgh. All right? At this point, if the dude can continue to do what he does on a yearly basis, winning with trash quarterbacks, then imagine what he can do if he actually got a good quarterback. And that's why I still push back on the criticisms of Mike Tomlin, why I still don't want to see him fired, because I think about how good he could be if he does find the right quarterback. But does it piss you off how much you pay for your monthly phone bill? Why are you getting frustrated when our partner Mint Mobile has plans as low as $15 a month that give you unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network? Stop getting frustrated with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and go to trymintmobile.com/JT Sports and description and pin comment down below to get access to premium wireless for only $15 a month. That's only $15 a month. Switching to Mint It's easy. It only takes 15 minutes to do. If you're pissed off with how much you pay for your monthly phone bill, switch to Mint Mobile today and go to trymintmobile.com/JT Sports in description and pin comment down below to get premium wireless for only $15 a month. Stop getting upset with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and switch to Mint Mobile today. I don't trust them to be able to find the right quarterback. I don't trust this organization to be able to evaluate quarterback good enough that they can find a good replacement for Kenny Pickett. Or they could find the true successor for Big Ben, because they still are looking for that. Ever since Big Ben retired, they've been playing Russian roulette ever since. You had Mitch Trubisky. That was a disaster. Like, I don't know what the hell the Steelers were thinking by signing Mitch Trubisky. And I told you guys when we made that signing, it was one of the worst decisions that we have ever made in free agency. And many of you guys said I was hating on Mitch Trubisky. He was going to prove me wrong. And look, he was awful. He was a disaster. And what really concerns me the most is that Mike Tomlin, when the Steelers were going against the New England Patriots, and he was asked before the game, when they were doing the production interviews the week leading up to the game, why he decided to roll with Mitch Trubisky, he said because he has experience being a franchise quarterback before. When I heard that, I knew the season was going nowhere for Pittsburgh. Even though we still managed to sneak into the playoffs, it didn't mean nothing. I'd rather go through a Mason Rudolph this season or Justin Fields than have to sit through another year of watching Kenny, small hands, no athleticism, nothing special about him, Pickett. I mean, we keep trying to make it seem like George Pickens and Deontay Johnson are drama queens when all they want is a chance to make plays. And I can't get mad at them. How can any of us get mad at them for getting frustrated with shit quarterback play? We deserve better as a fan base. We used to be such a great organization. Championships used to be the standard every single season in Pittsburgh. And now all of a sudden, the standard has went down. And now we got a large amount of the fan base saying a guy like Kenny Pickett deserves a third chance to show you what he has. We know what Kenny Pickett has. At best, he's an above average quarterback who's not good enough to win you a Super Bowl. And please don't compare him to Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy and Kenny Pickett are on two different stratospheres. They're not even on the same fucking universe. Like, Brock Purdy is here. Kenny Pickett is here. I don't care what you say about Brock Purdy benefiting from having a good team around him when Kenny Pickett has Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, a good rushing attack, and Mike Tomlin as his head coach, and the dude sucks. Outside of occasionally raising his game in the fourth quarter in certain matchups, he's not good. His best showing of the season, when he had like over 300 passing yards or whatever against Cincinnati, guess how many points Pittsburgh scored in that game? 16. When Mason Rudolph became the starting quarterback, though, the Steelers' offense was averaging nearly 20 points every game. You didn't see Deontay Johnson and George Pickens getting frustrated when Mason Rudolph was in that quarterback. So why is it that they get these frustrations when Kenny Pickett is in? When you have a good quarterback, receivers don't get frustrated. Kenny Pickett is a very likable guy. He's definitely a guy that I would sit down with and take a couple of shots of Don Julio with. But he's not a guy who I would want as the future and face of my organization at quarterback. He's a good backup. Not good enough to win you a Super Bowl. And if you don't have a quarterback that's good enough to win you a Super Bowl, that means that you have a problem at that position and it needs to be dealt with and it needs to be improved.